I make my way into the center of Caraga region, Butuan. Unknown to most, Butuan's history goes back to prehistoric times. The locals often say, in the beginning, there was no Philippines, but there was Butuan. In my quest to learn more about Butuan's history, I visited the National Museum's regional branch here in
Mr.
Butuan.
Gutierrez, our renowned local historian.
I know he's quite popular. He has some books.
I was lucky to meet and spend the afternoon with local historian Greg Hontiveros, who walked me through Butuan's rich heritage.
I hear so many things about Butuan history and interesting diggings and discoveries in the past. What really makes Butuan special?
A lot of things were found that belong to the pre-colonial era. Chinese ceramics and all other Oriental ceramics were found. Lots of gold items and implements for the processing and the manufacturing of ornaments. You have always, and of course, definitely what caught the attention of many was the unearthing of the balangay boats. As people traveled, and as people interacted, and as people exchanged goods, out of that, I would say that the development of civilizations, development of kingdoms, were brought about by all these exchanges. And credit that to the boat.
The story of Butuan and the Caraga region cannot be told without referring to its geography. I learned that about 2 million years ago, present-day Butuan was entirely covered by sea. The Agusan River from the Diwata mountain range flowed into the Butuan Bay, carrying sand, silt, and clay. These formed a delta, which will become Butuan today. As nature continued to shift the earth, and as Agusan River continued to flow, it created an estuary. Settlements began to exist along the shorelines of this estuary. Bonbon, which in the local dialect means sandy shore, is one of these early settlements. This is where one of the earliest evidences of human existence can be found. The town of Bonbon.
They say that if you'd like to know how people lived in the past, it would be good to look at their trash. They've tried to date all these shells, and it dated about 7,000 years, which is almost as old as the Egyptian pyramids.
Discovered by the Becquibel family in their property, the Becquibel shell midden is a prehistoric trash can containing piles of discarded shells, deer and pig bones, stone tools, and even human skeletons from the Neolithic era. The midden gives us a picture of our ancestors' way of life. The area was once beside the river, where a rice field now flourishes. With the abundance of wood in the region, our ancestors constructed huge shipping vessels capable of sailing the open sea.
The discovery of the balangays has given Butuan a special place in ancient history.
The boats have been described by Spanish chroniclers, but their physical evidence were only found in the 1970s, while diggings were being done for the city's urban development. The significance of the balangay boats to Southeast Asian prehistory is the equivalent to the discovery of the Viking boats in Europe. By the 9th century, floods and soil coming from the slopes of Mount Mayapay into the river-buried settlements, including the balangay boats. I visit the site where the boats were unearthed.
This is actually boat number 4 out of 11 that they have found. They say this one is the biggest, and the wooden pegs is almost as big as a soda can. They have to keep it underwater to protect it from the elements because it's summer season.
Due to tectonic events, Pinamangkulan, a shallow reef platform in the Butuan Bay, began to elevate along with Mount Mayapay, the highest peak in Butuan. The growth of the delta divided flow of the Agusan River, creating the Masao River. Pinamangkulan became known as the island of Masawa. This was my next stop. I met with Jimbo and his wife Shayla, who has lived and worked in Manila as flight crew but loved being in Butuan so much that they decided to move back to Jimbo's hometown. They volunteered to take me around this place they called home and show me why they are proud of their city. Tracing Butuan's naval history, they took me to the Buod, or hill overlooking the city of Butuan and Masao River.
This is Masao River right here.
Right there. So this is really a community of fishermen or traders.
This hill is where natives and Chinese traders bartered goods. It is also said to be where the first Christian Mass was held in the Philippine soil, and where Magellan and his men erected a cross to signify the event.
This is the first Mass monument, Captain. During the time when Magellan came to the country, they held the first Mass here. It was March 31, 1521.
But from what my understanding was from school is that it was somewhere else.
Actually is an ongoing controversy that the first Mass was held somewhere else. Explorers themselves writing down that the first Mass was actually held in Masawa. Butuan was actually immersed in water before.
Easier
Easier for ships to have access.
As soil movement and mud flow from the mountains continued, the water channels closed up and joined the mainland. Hence, the disappearance of the island known as Masawa. This explains why historians had difficulty finding the island of Masawa, described in the Spanish chronicles, and opted to put Limasawa in the history books instead. As a testament to how the land and forces of nature influence people's way of life, I visit the ruins of the Bansa Church. A huge banyan tree called balete has wrapped itself around the tip of the tower of this once beautiful stone church. The first Catholic church built in Mindanao. The church fell into disuse after the town center was moved to the current location due to water rising from the river and flooding the town. Dramatic changes in the geographical outlay of Butuan continued over the years into the one we know today. Coming up next, I am taken aback as Caraga continues to unravel its beauty and natural wonders.